Okay, this is a quick introduction video of the Ocean Creator 2. And you can see it here next to the Dialysis 215, 2015, comparable in size. This is about 34 inches long, about 34 inches tall, and about 10 inches wide. It has 3 compartments. The first compartment is about 3 gallons of DI water. There is increments on the window that do show how much water is in there. This first chamber is deionized water. The second chamber is salt water at the exact level that you want to keep in your aquarium. And the last 5-gallon chamber is salt concentrate. So you can use any salt brand you want. It will hold 200 gallons worth of salt. The purpose of this machine is a direct water changing machine for aquariums. It's actually meant to be mounted on the wall in your laundry room, in your garage. You just put a French cleat on the wall and this machine can hang on that cleat, very sturdy. And over here you'll need to be able to hook to a water supply, the drain, and 3 lines go to your aquarium. You're going to have the influent line, that's the water coming out of your aquarium, the autofill line, which is going to be DI water, and then the green is going to be salt water. So what will happen is you're going to set the conductivity of this machine to whatever salinity you want of the aquarium. So it's going to give you a reading here. You're going to have the ability to set a high and a low off, which will turn the machine off, just in case you were to run out of salt. This controller here is looking at the salinity in this middle chamber. Typically we make it a little higher in concentration than we do in the aquarium, because when the aquarium calls for salt, it will turn on this salt pump, it take water out of here, and it'll bring it over to the tank by way of 1/4-inch tubing. Now this machine can be put about 50 feet away from your aquarium, some cases even further. So essentially, most of the equipment that's underneath your aquarium can be eliminated now, because if you're changing enough water, you can really reduce the footprint of the equipment that you have, or even downsize it, because changing the water in your aquarium is going to get rid of that, that biological load, the high biological load in your aquarium. So it does use DC driven motors, very accurate. They move about 1.5 gallons an hour, a little more than 1.5 gallons an hour. And the machine is smart enough to know when it should put DI water in the aquarium and when it should put salt water in the aquarium, or when it should turn this salt pump on to add more salt to the salt reservoir to bring up the salinity. It has a timer on it, so you can set this down to 15-minute intervals throughout the day. You can change a maximum of 30 gallons a day in the aquarium. So that would be a pretty big aquarium to change 30 gallons a day. But for instance, this aquarium here, it has a pretty good bioload in there. And there is only a overflow filter going over danner pads. There is no protein skimmer on here. There is not a large sump. There's just a pump recirculating water over filter pads through bioballs. That is the limitation of this filter system. So without this machine, we would not be able to have the bioload. There's 3 sharks in here. There's 4 lookouts in there, and they get fed quite a bit every day. So it does make deionized water, and it does make salt water to whatever level that you want. It can be mounted remotely, and all you'd have to have is a chaseway in an attic space, under the house, through the walls. As long as you can get the lines over to your aquarium, you're a candidate for this machine. It does need to have a float switch line, which is similar to the same type of line that you'd use in the air conditioning in your house for the thermostat. The conductivity probe for the aquarium is actually mounted inside here, so it does not have to have a remote connectivity probe, because as it's taking water out of the aquarium, it will register by the water coming in. The control system, I took the cover off the top so you can look down in there, but it's a quick change. You know, this can come out and be sent back for service if necessary. So it's not bolted in here to where you can't ever service it. It was made to come out quickly. The motors actually have quick changing heads. You just squeeze the sides and they pop off. And these things are sold very inexpensive, but it comes with the peristaltic tube and the head all built in. It just pops back on. And all you have to do is attach the lines again, which just pushes on, no clamps necessary. It's very simple, but yet it's a very powerful machine and will help you tremendously. And we'll give you another more detailed video in the next couple of days.